Everyone, this is Jess, aka Sketchwriter Jess. I was supposed to have a reading for you, a pick a card reading, and I had done 3 readings. I was going back and editing the video, and the first one was fine. I got into the second one, and it looks like I didn't upload the last part of it. So I would have to re-record it. What I'm gonna do is put it up for next Waning Moon, so then I can record it at my own leisure and it'll be a better reading for you. It's actually pretty good. I really like it, so I want to continue with it. But I don't want to rush it. Something like that happens, you can't, it's not worth rushing it. I've really worked hard on it. I'd rather have something of quality for all of you than have junk, frankly. So I thought I'd do kind of like maybe, I don't know, channeled message. I thought I'd kind of do a combination of like mental health check-in and message. But I also want to talk about a new spread I came up with for the Waning Moon. I'm gonna take my glasses off because my eyes are just, I'm sort of like crying because I forgot to upload that part of the film. I know I have the rest of it done. It was just that one part. It was like a half-hour worth of channeling. It was really good. I'm so upset that I forgot to upload it. Anyways, one thing I came up with for the Waning Moon is a spread of the goals that you set in the waxing moon phase, and then you have the tasks to complete that goal, and then you have what you have to let go of, because with the waning moon it's all about letting go of the stuff you don't want to have anymore. I can't even talk, so there's something going on with me. I don't know what. I just hope I'm not coming down with cold or something. Anyways, I feel like it was a really good spread to have the 3 cards, and then I just clarify a few of the cards. I don't pull minors on all of them, just the ones where I really feel like I need clarification. So I'm getting better at reading. I'm channeling and more than, instead of like writing it up and then coming back. So I mean, I'm really achieving what I want spiritually with the cards. But I have to admit, I put a very huge amount of work into it. And I'm trying to figure out, well, is there any way I can make some money off of it? So, I mean, I have some ideas. I had done that Terror Tales thing, but it was really like not, it wasn't really where I wanted to go with what I was doing. I kind of have them there for posterity. A lot of the stuff I do, it's like really for 18 plus, in my opinion. And so like that's my audience. I have a blog, and it does have advertising. And they just came out with a thing that said if you have adult content on your site, they'll pull the advertising from whatever posts have the adult content. So I do have some posts. I have a little bit. I'm not explicit about anything, but they have a little bit of stuff. So, like some of the stuff I post on YouTube, I don't post on there because I know I won't have any chance of making money from the ads. And I've had kind of a hard time with it. I mean, I'm not going to disclose how much I make. I'll just say I haven't even made $1 in all the time I've been on there. And I think it's because of the way I do the content. Like, I think instead of thinking of the content as something that draws you to the ads, I think of the content as something that's supposed to draw you to me, to see my videos, because the videos are special. I mean, I really put my heart and soul into them. I mean, the blog posts are special too, they have written messages. But, I realized, like, if I want to make it with the blogging, that I need to do some content that is more central to advertising. Like things that ads would come up for, is I guess what I'm saying. So like, using using the right search terms, crafting content management. But the dilemma is, do I use the content management to get people to my shop with actual stuff, although I have like 8 things in there? Or do I use it to get to advertisers? Like, do I have everybody go there so they can click on it? Well, you know what I mean. So they can see all the advertising and decide whether they want to go there or not. I'm really trying to be tactful about this, because I don't want my ads to get pulled. I'm not telling people to go to my blog and do that, like to click or anything. I'm just talking as just a business person here. But if there's anything that I've been learning this waning moon, there's a lot of things that take priority over other things. And since I've made this film, the film that I had started, since I really like it, I mean, I just want it to be the best I can make it. And so, like, that's why, like, I mean, I'm going to have to put things in there that say, well, this is at the Pisces moon because blah, 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 blah. But I'll say it's timeless. So it'll have all the information why I'm talking about that stuff and everything. But since it's timeless, it's relevant always. So anyways, all over the place. But, what I've learned is, I mean, it's like there were things that I've had to deal with, personal things recently, with family, and I don't want to go too far into it. I don't want to exacerbate it. It's just that there's just been some health problems in my family, and I've had to do a lot of taking care of them. And that takes priority over something that I do spiritually for free. If if I was actually making money off of it, I could see making it more of a priority. And maybe that could be what the problem is. That maybe I'm not into the tarot as much for the spirituality anymore. Maybe I'm beginning to see it as a money thing. And, but, my readings were just really good. Like, I really enjoyed them. I was laughing at them. Like, in a good way. Like, not laughing at me because I messed up, although I did mess up in some of them. But laughing because I was, like, kind of talking about the human condition, and not all about yourself, but being about yourself enough that you can give to others and they can give to you, and you'll have a better relationship with somebody. Just in general, it could be anybody, soulmates or whatever, twin flames, all that stuff. So I had set the cards aside so I can still go back, but I may just end up doing a new pile too. And maybe Spirit just didn't want me to share that one. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good so far, but I feel weird like recording half of it from that one, but I don't know. I'll see when time comes. I don't know what to do. Um, it's just frustrating. I've just had so much in my mind. Nervous about my family and their health problems. I'm nervous about a lot of things. I feel like there's been so much that I've been through in my life, and there's been so much of a learning curve, and it's been like a constant steep curve. And so, like, I want to help people avoid that. But I think if there's anything I'm learning now is that some people need the steep curve or else they'll never learn. So, like, to try to help somebody avoid that isn't really helpful. So I think, like, keeping that in mind, I like the readings that I did, so I mean, I'm tempted to keep them and share them with you for next month. And I probably will, but if I decide to do a whole new one, then I'll just do a whole new one. Somehow I did something wrong. I just wasn't, my head wasn't fully in it. And now that I think about it, I enjoyed doing it. And maybe that was the point of it. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a whole new Waning Moon one for next month, and I'm going to get it there in time so that it's there in Waning Moon session. Like, may not be on the Waning Moon, but might be a little after. I find with the moon, for me, like, there's like a fallout, so there's like a fallout, and it's like, I have to recover from it. So, like, I feel like my audience is people who have to recover from the moon. And so that's what's happening with that. I think when I do my pick of cards, I don't know, I think I just need to just keep in mind everything I'm giving and think about where all that time is going, but also what's motivating it. Think about what's motivating it. I think when it comes to the waning moon, you have to kind of look at whatever project you set in the waxing moon and think about what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of. What's a priority and what's not a priority. And maybe that's what the lesson is, like maybe my readings could focus more on goals and tasks, but they can be about priorities. And that is something I didn't address. So, this month is shot. I mean, I'm not able to do it, but for next month, I'm going to have something for you. I still feel like this is part of my calling. I don't know if it's my whole calling. But I feel like there's something that I get from doing tarot readings that I don't get from anything else. There's something that I get from being connected to spirit that I don't get from anything else. And I can't deny that. And so, like, I'm going to keep doing this. However, I do need to figure out how to make it a priority. And one of the things to make it a priority is to find some way to monetize it, whether it's through my blog, whether it's through products that I create. There needs to be something here for me, something other than just giving, like giving it out and then not having the return that I feel I need to really continue it. It's very, very hard work. And of course, I'm probably making it more difficult for myself than it really needs to be. But that being said, I think that when I do my readings, I think of, oh, sorry. When I do my readings, I think of the houses and planet placements. I think of those things a lot when I'm doing the readings. And I'm thinking maybe I need to have something on my blog that explains that. I'm thinking of having some blog posts that just give you a rundown of general things the signs are like what they're into, things that have to do with like how signs work, how they play, how they have sex. Well, I can't really have a sex thing, but you know what I mean. Any love, that kind of thing, friendship, how they all do that, and how they all interact, and how they all interact, but also how somebody has all that stuff in their chart. That, you know, you're not just the sun sign. You're also, the big ones are the sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign. Yeah, those are big. But there are other things that make you up too. And so, like, you know, that, like, a big thing to me with astrology is the erogenous zones. All the parts of the body that are ruled by the signs that are major in your chart. And it gives you a whole new lease on life to know that you're not just one dimensional, one type of something. You're a whole being, and you're made up of so many different parts. And astrology allows me to to experience that. And I think if you study it, you get that too. And it's in connection to the universe, so it's a really beautiful thing. I have thought about giving personal readings, but I think I don't know if that's really my wheelhouse. I really feel like I'm a general reader. I feel like I'm I'm a general reader, and I'm putting myself to sleep now. I'm probably putting you to sleep too, but I believe my readings are for everybody. Nobody's going to get left out. You're the only one who leave yourself out. That's how it works with me. So I'm not one of those readers who says, oh, there's only a specific soul group I'm talking to, and it's only for them. And one of my favorite readers does that, and you know, I think it's ridiculous. But some readers just, that's how they feel. That there is a specific people they're trying to reach, souls they're trying to reach. I know there's like the twin flame people that do the twin flame readings, and that makes sense because only, you know, there's not that many people who even know what that is. I didn't know what it was until I looked it up, and it was like, oh, you know. But I certainly don't consider myself a twin flame reader. I'm actually trying to put it behind me. I feel like my twin flame can't even say hello to me. He whistles at me. Not like a cat call, but just looks up at the ceiling and starts whistling when he sees me. And so I'm like, that this guy's not going to be mature for like 20 more years, so I'm just going to leave him alone. So, yeah, he's ridiculous. You know, he didn't know I lived in like the same part of town. I never told him that. He told me where he lived. Like, he just gave a general idea. He didn't say exactly where he lived, but he gave a general idea. And I was like, oh my God, he lives close to me. I never thought I would run into him in town, honestly. I thought there were so many people here, but I've run into him 3 times. Then each time he acts more and more stupid around me. Um, it's just ridiculous. I deserve better than that. Um, I deserve better than that type of that hot and cold behavior. Like sometimes I'm gonna tease you, and sometimes I'm gonna really put everything in there, and it's just ridiculous, you know. Um, so I'm like focusing on soulmates now. I'm focusing more on really connecting with people in a way that's really, you're really like able to be compatible. You can have fun together. And you don't have to think so hard about what's really happening. And I know people would be like, "Oh, he's not your twin flame because he would be all over you. He'd be all about you." I, I, I'm sorry, my spirit guide told me he is, so I believe her over anybody else, no matter who the tarot reader is. Um, so that's kind of one of those things. But it's getting harder to work on things and then have them not really take off. That's the only way I can say it. Like, I'm happy to have the subscribers I have. Every subscriber is special. And I'm happy that people are coming and viewing my videos. But I guess there are things where I thought I was really on to something. And then it wasn't vibing as much as I thought. I thought it was going to be a bigger hit. And you know, that's my problem. I get like obsessed with the numbers. I get obsessed with the big thing, the big idea. Some tarot readers are like into the big idea, so like I get drawn to that, and it's the whole you're gonna you're gonna take off. Your business is gonna take off. You're gonna make a lot of money, but like you hear it like all the time, like the same way each time. And yes, there's millions of people that you're reading for, thousands, whatever you can say. But somebody who's watching is going to want that to happen to them. And they may want it to happen to them right now. They may want it to happen to them tomorrow. It's not like somebody wants it to happen to them 10 years from now. You know, like they want all this stuff now. And like, if you've been watching somebody for months and months and months, and they keep saying the same things, and you keep hoping it's you, you're like, well, I know it's low vibrational behavior to check back for the future stuff all the time. And I had even said that in one of my other videos that that it's good to like not check the tarot for every single thing, you know, like I feel like sometimes you can get obsessed over something and then you're like checking it all the time and it changes, or it just keeps saying the same thing. Either it can happen either way. What the tarot is never going to do is tell you what you want to hear. It's never going to tell you what you want to hear. It's going to tell you what you need to hear. And I think with astrologers, any kind of astrologer, the best ones tell you what you need to hear, but they do it in a respectful way, and they treat you like you have your own brain. And if they don't treat you like you have your own brain, then you need to like walk out the door. Okay? And that goes for the tarot readers too. If you watching a tarot reader or you go to a tarot reader and they're like saying stuff and it doesn't work for you, then you just go. You just say, you pay them or whatever, and you go. Or you're watching, you just, shut it off, right? Um, I think the one thing that when I do my tarot readings, the one thing I want to give you is hope. And when I say hope, I don't mean false hope. I don't mean you're going to have the big idea and you're going to run away with it and like say that every time and then like get upset when people are upset that they didn't get that. Um, I don't think it's fair for me to do that because of my background. Now, maybe if you come from a different background where, maybe you have a lot of money, you know what it's like to build yourself up, then maybe you can come from a place and say that. And that could be like the tarot reader that I'm thinking of. But I have to say that I know for a fact I'm not ready for like $1 million to fall in my lap. Like I know that. So it's not going to happen. However, what I am ready for is to stop working for free. That's it. I'm ready for that. And I just need to gather myself and figure out the best way to make money. And I feel like I can make money from this. And it's not just money, it's also spiritual. I like helping people. And I feel like it's the best way I can help people is to give people advice from my years of experience. I'm 40 years old. Now I have a very different story than lots of people. But I think one thing that I have to watch out for is that I don't try to steer you away from lessons that you need to learn. I think one of my favorite tarot readers, I'm not going to shout her out because this video is really, really about me, but she's more of like a guidance tarot reader, and that's kind of how I feel. I feel like I'm a guidance tarot reader. I'm not a predictive tarot reader. Now, she does predict. She's able to predict, but I don't really have that ability. I had done one reading and I predicted, and I don't know why I predicted, honestly. But I consider myself more of a guidance reader. Tarot is a divination tool. It's a tool, and it's not necessary to be an astrologer, and it's not necessary for psychic ability. However, it does make it more fun to tell stories, and it makes it more fun to impart knowledge. You can reach back into yourself and pull the things out that can help somebody or help you. I mean, I was watching my readings back and I was helping myself, and maybe Spirit was like, you know what, these readings are for you. And maybe that's why it's missing something, because maybe those were the things I didn't need to hear. Maybe I just didn't need to hear them again. It's not that you didn't need to hear it. It's just more like, it was like Spirit was like, you know what you need to do. Now, I have something to say. I have a couple things to say about spirituality. And this was supposed to be the wrap-up of this. And I know I've already talked 30 minutes. I was just looking at the time. I'm nearsighted, so I have to go up and look at it. I'm going to say two things, because I want to make another thing clear. Everybody has psychic ability. You have to be open to it, though. You have to understand that you have it. You have to. It's almost like you have a seed inside of you, and you have to kind of like water that seed. It'll lay dormant if you don't believe you have it at all. If you don't awaken yourself to it, it won't come out. But I believe every single soul has psychic ability. Doesn't make sense for them not to. Really doesn't. Um, Animals like, dogs, cats, they have psychic ability, so why not humans, right? Um, and so since they have psychic ability, I think everybody has access to deities and ascended masters. I've already got two that I have communicated with by writing. Um, well, one I communicated with writing, and one of them I communicated with just in the third eye type of dimension type of thing. More like a dream, like a waking dream. My eyes were closed. It was a dream. It wasn't a hallucination. Um, so I'll describe what happened today, and then I'll describe the other thing that'll probably either blow you away or make you think I'm an absolute heretic. But first, today, um, I was like, I need some guidance about something. I'm gonna contact Kali Ma. She's the angry Indian deity, the Hindu deity. I think she's Hindu, and she's like, mean to children, eating at children, doing all these horrible things. But it's supposed to be meant to kind of like clear the air, I guess, clear the clear the way for the things that need to happen next. I think she's more of representative of like birth and death. I think that's what she's meant to be about. Those are the things that she's like the Scorpio energy of deities. And for whatever reason, I've been communicating with her. Um, it just moved me. One of the tarot readers I mentioned that I was thinking about earlier, she channels Kali Ma, and I was like, that makes sense. I understand that, and she says why she does it, and that's why I still watch her, because she has these moments of think about spirituality that are just great, But some of the other stuff, it's like I know she comes from a place where she can say the things she says, but it does get to be kind of tough when, I just need to find it in myself to do the right thing. So, like, sometimes you have to take a break from tarot reader. But, um, anyways, I've been channeling, I've been communicating and writing, automatic writing with Kali Ma for the last couple of months, and I do it like once every couple of weeks. And she's like a business deity. She's all about business with me. I don't know why. Um, but I think it's almost like the birth and the death of ideas. If I think of it that way, like a booming business, making way for the new things, killing the old things, and making way for the new things. I think that's why I've been communicating with her, because that's just how I am. That's kind of the way I am too. I tend to do a lot of new things and get rid of the old things. I do a project, put it aside, and leave it alone, and then I forget about it, and then like I'll pick it up again like a year later. Uh, it's kind of weird. Anyways, she she played a trick on me, I think, or I actually played a trick on myself, but I blamed her. Um, I have a lamp, and it has this knob on it, and one time the screw fell off of the knob, and it keeps the knob on the switch that turns it on. And I don't know where the screw went, and I never got another one to replace it. And I know I have like a ton of little screws I could find. And I didn't find it, I could like get something at Home Depot or whatever, Ace Hardware, whatever. Um, so I was like trying to turn it off because it like stays on there sometimes, but it always falls like every couple days. And this time I reached over to do it and it fell, and then I couldn't find it. And there's no way to turn the lamp off without it on there. It has like the switch, and you have to turn it, but it's like iron, and you can't really move it with your hand. So I was so upset because I was about to channel Kali Ma and write in my book and ask what I needed. And then I couldn't find the knob, and I still haven't found it. So what I did was I used pliers to turn the switch, and that's what I'm using from now on. I don't know where the knob went, and I really don't feel like moving the couch to find it. So it was really funny. Um, so I was like communicating, like, look what you did. I was like, why did you do that? And she's like, why did you do that? Like, look what you did. Look, why did you? Why did that happen? Like, why did the knob fall off? Like, it wasn't me. You, what did you do? And I forgot to get the screw and put it on there. So I caused the issue. So, I mean, she will point those kinds of things out to you. And she doesn't like being blamed for stuff. So, like, she didn't like that, like, I blamed her. I had said, like, she kind of played a trick on me. So she was a little snippy with me. But then, once I was, like, mature about it, we got into the conversation about business stuff. I won't go too far into it. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the video about blogging, and I've been discussing that with her, and she has some good ideas about it that like we came up with together. I think she will only tell you things that's deep within inside you, that deep inside to be true. So she's not gonna like just say stuff that you have no capability of doing or anything. She's gonna find all the options in you and put them out on the table for you to choose from. And then she'll like really hone in on some of them to think about, and she's very direct, and she says a lot. She really says a lot, but not a lot to the point where it's like overwhelming, but she like is able to give you like a paragraph or a couple paragraphs sometimes, and it's just what you need. It's not too much, it's not too little. She's actually more patient than you think she is. She's patient when you're mature. If you're going to be immature and blame her for this and that, she will, kick your ass. But, she'll chew you out. She's not going to kick your ass. But, it's something that if you feel like birth and death cycles seem to be a pattern in your life, and I don't just mean like if you're a mother and you have a child, I don't mean that. It's more like if you're somebody who has lots of ideas and you have new projects, you make way for all the new stuff coming in. If that's how you're built, then Kali Ma is really good for you. She will help you with directing your passion, directing you to your best solutions. And I feel like she's given me some good tips. So I urge you, if you feel a deity really is who you need to talk to, if you need to write to them. Now I write so I don't have to hear anything or see anything. Then I would say just try it out. Like if you've any deity, like really all you have to do is just be open to it and just think, what would it be like if I talked to them? You just like say, hello, Kali Ma. And then, it'll probably be something. As long as you're respectful, it'll come out. She likes respect, She likes respect because she makes way for all the new things to come in. And she kind of gets rid of all the old stuff that needs to go away. And that is special. And people, I think, misunderstand that. They think it's all about, the scary stuff about what she did or something. But remember, it's all a story. All of these religious texts, religious beliefs, they're all stories passed down from generation to generation by humans. So it's not like they really happen. I mean, they could have happened, but I mean, it's not like you have to take it as if it really happened. And like, you can read between the lines and get your own meanings from it, is what I'm saying. So that's Kali Ma, and I recommend Kali Ma if you have that cycling like that. She'll be respectful to you if you're respectful to her. As simple as that. So that's what I have about that. Now the other one that uh, I'm afraid to mention it because I have friends who are Christian. I have family who's Christian, and I don't know how they'd feel about this, but I had a vision. I was doing my meditation, and Jesus popped up in my meditation. He was wearing a robe and like this red sash. He had beard and long hair. And I guess he was kind of like tan. His eyes were brown. I don't really know too much about what he looked like. It was just, I just got a general idea of him. I don't have any major specific details. He looked a lot like illustrations I've seen of Jesus, so that's really what I saw. Anyways, he came down, and this was after my full moon reading that I did post on here. He came down and he said, just keep being yourself, like keep being you. Everybody wants you to be you. And then he rubbed my head like with a, like, when people give people nuggies like that? Well, that's what he did to me. Give me a nuggie. And he just like went away. Like he just like disappeared. He was like, bye-bye, And it's like that's what I got. And I'm assuming it was a real channel of some sort. It felt real. He gave me a hug too. He did give me a hug, a real hug. And I felt that. I felt like tingly, And you'd think like, oh, I would become a Christian after that. But here's what I realized. I realized Jesus is not a Christian. Jesus was Jewish. He was always Jewish. But he had his own way of being and his own idea of what religion could be. And he was all about kind of like taking in the sick and making sure everybody was okay. Looking after your fellow man more than anything else. Looking after your fellow man and not at the expense of earning money, not at the expense of materialism. And that's a special thing. And all of us in the world, we're fighting with that every day. I fight with it every day because I think about it, and as I talked about earlier, I'm like, I don't know how much longer I can do very in-depth readings for free. Like I don't know, but at the same time, I feel like each time I learn something, and I feel like I'm helping you out. So it feels wrong for me to not do it, but at the same time, it is a lot of work. And So that was Jesus, and I'm still a Wiccan. And he didn't tell me to become a Christian. He didn't get upset with me for not being a Christian. Humans made him a Christian. And people who were born after him, who talked about his story, made him a Christian. And they created Christianity. He didn't create Christianity. And I think because of that, I'm just not able to align with that anymore. It's too risky. There's a lot of things that you have to do. You have to, like, stop yourself constantly from doing stuff that you might want to do. And I mean, obviously the bad stuff, it's good to stop yourself. But there are just some things where you're like thinking, I just feel like magic would be a better way to deal with it. Like, it just is a better way to deal with the situation. And if you think of prayers are sort of like spells. And they're sort of like spells. They're all about energy and all about asking for what you want. I guess the difference is that with a prayer, it's like you're asking, you're not telling. Like with a spell, I guess it's almost like you're telling the universe what you want. With a prayer, you're asking for what you want. So because of that, people think that if you ask, ask and you shall receive. If you're asking, that's better than telling the universe what you want, or telling God to do something for you. God is not supposed to serve you. You serve God. A God. See, I think there's lots of gods and goddesses and stuff. I don't think it's just one God. So I've gone off on a whole lot of stuff here. I hope you get something from this video. I know it was a lot. I know it's not a pick a card reading. So, but I can only do what I can do when I've got lots of other things going on, and I know that the people who watch this channel are understanding. They're not gonna, hold it against me. But once I figure out the monetizing strategy for everything, things will pick up again. I may not have a new moon reading, but I'll probably have a full waxing moon reading again. So the new moon might not happen. I may just have like a little reading on my blog or something. I don't know yet, but I think the waxing moon and the full moon are the biggies. I think the waning moon, you could use waning moon timing at any time, really. I think you can use it at any time you want. When it comes to the full moon, to me, like, the moon is all about planning. And so, with the full moon, you're planning ahead, planning things. You're not just manifesting, you're like planting the seeds. Like the harvest. I think every full moon is a harvest moon, doesn't matter when it is. There's no reason to treat it like it's different than the other full moon. That's just my opinion. I feel like a lot of people get hung up on where all the planets are at a certain time and stuff. And I think it's more important to think about where the planets were when you were born. Learn how you deal with things. Learn how you can better interact with people. Learn about the things that you're possibly interested in, hidden talents you didn't realize you had, things that you didn't really know about yourself, things that you want to know about other people. I mean, it's not just about manifesting or having a good business, or it's lots of other things. It's a lot of other stuff. And I think people they start thinking that a religion is all about manifesting too. Like they think it's all about abundance and manifesting, and there's more to that. There's more to life than abundance. And that's probably why I haven't earned money, because I just don't think that money is the be all and end all. However, I'm understanding how important work is nowadays. Like work in terms of actually putting myself into something and continuing it for more than a month. I've been at this for a couple months now, and I'm not bored with it, and I'm learning new things about it all the time when I do it, so I like doing it. But you know, I see my friends who are tarot readers, like, that aren't on YouTube. I mean, they have accounts, but they're not, like, they don't do the tarot thing on YouTube. And they charge for their readings, and rightfully so. And they put a lot of effort into them, put a lot of heart and soul into them. And I think that's inspiring, for somebody to trust you enough to receive guidance and like pay you for your time and helping them out is really special. And I mean, if you look at Christianity, you know, a lot of people say, well, the money is the root of all evil. But you know what? The priest gets paid by the church. Church gets paid by the people who go to the church. It's the same thing. Except maybe you pay a little different. I don't know. Usually a tarot reader has a set price. But some tarot readers, they put like a little thing, say donate, love donations. You can donate whatever you want, you know, however much you can afford or whatever you feels is appropriate. With my situation, with my disability situation, I can't accept donations. So I have to actually make actual money with like an actual product, or with monetizing my blog, like I told you earlier. So it's a lot to take in. I know this is probably, you know, you weren't expecting this, but Spirit was like, you know what? Sometimes there are just things for you. Sometimes it's all about you. It isn't always about everybody else. Honestly, it's not always about everybody else. It's not always about, oh, look, that person is doing so much better than me. You know, it's not always about they're having the time of their lives and I'm not. It's all about you and where you are and the things that you want, not getting caught up in what everybody else has or how they're living. And that's a lesson I've had to learn, because I get all caught up in, oh, you know, they're all having such a good time. They're doing this, they're doing that, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it's like, it's toxic thinking, and it does hurt you, and it can make your body hurt bad, and it can make you do things to excess because you want to forget it or you want to be numb. Like, since I stopped drinking, now what I do to numb myself is crochet for hours a day. Which I guess isn't bad, but if you crochet for hours, you can actually hurt your hands, you can hurt your wrists, you can hurt your arms, you can hurt your body from just sitting all day. It's bad. You know, it's bad not to take breaks and to get so absorbed in something and not take breaks. That's not good. So I'd say for anybody who works at all, any kind of work, any job, whether you work on your own or not, you work for somebody else, you have to take breaks. You have to take breaks. Stop burning the oil. Just stop burning the oil altogether. You know, don't do that. If you need to share your light in a way that's going to be healthy for you. And I feel like the tarot reading is a very healthy thing for me to do. And you know, it's special. That's the only way I can describe what tarot is to me. And I love seeing all the different cards. Now, I use the cards I use because they're the ones that I really resonate with, and I feel like I can give you the best readings with them. However, I am making some tarot deck. I'm making a tarot deck and an oracle deck. It's going to take a while. I mean, it could take like a couple months to a year to really flesh it out. But, you know, I still have some things I have to learn. There's still some things that I haven't quite got my head around yet or my heart around yet. There's just certain things that need to be experienced. And I don't really mean like sex or relation. I don't mean like that. I'm more like just camaraderie. Just like sharing with people. In real life, just sharing a lot. It's something that I haven't really done for a long time. And I'm just getting into it again. So, and I mean, with the tarot, it sort of happens like that. But with actual people in my life, you know, I'm beginning to actually strike up friendships with people again. And I like myself a lot better now than I used to. So it's easy now to be friends with people because I can give them back. I can give them things back. I can give them the best that I have to offer, you know. If you're not able to do that, it's going to be difficult for you to make friends. Because that's what all friends deserve. They all deserve your best. And if they're not treating you like they deserve your best, then you just leave them the hell alone. You just let them go. And you know, I don't even want to tell you how many years that took to figure that out. But that's maybe I'll just leave it with that. In terms of blessings, you know, I do actually have blessings. I have one I wrote last night. I don't want to put my spell book on camera. I need to like paraphrase the spell. You know, I'm not superstitious, but boy, I don't know. My gut is like, do not show people your spell book. So I'm gonna try to paraphrase something more general for the waning moon. So I'm gonna leave you with a blessing. May you set your goals high. May you complete your tasks in the light. May you let go of what needs to be cut. Blessings. I will see you probably more on my blog. I'll have another video. If I do a new moon video, it'll be more like this probably. Just because there are just things going on in my life that need to be I have to find the schedule for everything. So, if you stuck around this long, thank you for sticking around. If you've just subscribed to this channel, I'm happy to have you. If you like my videos, please like. If you want to see more videos like this, or even the other videos, the tarot reading videos, and there will be more, then you know, subscribe to the channel. You'll be the first to know what's going on. I usually try to post at least once a week. It just depends on what's going on. You know, sometimes, as I told you everything earlier, so I'm not going to go into it again. But take care. Bye.